to talk to you today about how I personally managed to live out here in Boston by myself on a $60K a year salary. I want to be completely transparent and tell you up front, I don't have a pet, I don't have any student loans, and I don't have a car. If you want to know what it's like to live on a $50,000 a year salary, check out my previous video, Cost of Living in Boston, right up above. I released this last year. If you find this video helpful, make sure to give it a like and subscribe. And with that, let's get started. Currently for rent, I pay about $2,400 a month for a 500 square foot studio. Right now I'm on a 12-month lease. I renewed my lease from earlier this year. I was previously on a 15-month lease for roughly about $2,100 a month for the same apartment that I'm living in. I know what you're thinking. Hadel-Lynn, how can you pay $2,400 a month for rent? That is insane. And yes, I agree with you. $2,400 a month for rent out here in Boston is insane. But unfortunately, it's kind of the norm with what is included with my rent. So let me go into a little bit of detail about what's included. It includes in-unit laundry, no water or heating bills. So with me paying $2,400 a month, I would hope it doesn't include water and heating bills. In terms of the building itself, there are various amenities as well. For one, there is a 24/7 gym. I'm also close to various public transit systems as well as various grocery stores, and I also have a concierge that can deliver packages and mail to me. There's also a trash and recycling unit here in the building, which is good because if you live in the north end, you have to put your trash and recycling out a couple times a week, like right on the street, and it kind of explains why the north end still has a ton of rats, because it's not in a bin directly, it's just right on the street with the bag. At the time when I moved, due to COVID, prices were being slashed like 50%, and I wanted to take advantage of that deal, and I did, and I'm still continuing to do so as much as possible. I know that once my lease is over, I'm probably going to have to look for cheaper rent, especially because my end goal is to go to nursing school, and nursing school is a little bit pricey, so saving as much money as possible, but also enjoying my money as well is also important, especially when you're considering your rent. Let's talk about the various utilities I do have to pay that's not included with my rent. As of right now, my cell phone bill is about $26 a month. I paid off my cell phone a few years before moving out here, and I don't really intend on getting a new phone unless it's a gift, or once I graduate from nursing school as a gift to myself, just because my phone still works and it's not broken, it's not slowing down, so I don't really feel the need to buy a new phone. In addition, I also have to pay for Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi payments increased from $40 to $60 a month. And lastly, I do have to pay for the electricity, and electricity, it never goes more than $50 a month, and however, with inflation that might change. So overall, my basic utilities are close to $140 a month. Now, in terms of food, I would say I spend up to $250 a month, and I mostly eat at home. Just a big FYI, even though my salary has increased by about $10,000 a year, I still am very big about just eating at home. I do occasionally allow myself to splurge on like a meal, maybe like once or twice a month, but most of the time I believe in cooking and eating at home, mostly because one, it's just healthier for you. Two, your money gets stretched out further if you are cooking the food yourself, especially because for me, I am kind of small, petite, and I don't eat too much, and I don't really eat meat as often. I'm not vegetarian or vegan or anything like that, but I just personally don't really eat meat too much, so I feel like that makes my groceries a lot cheaper. Life hack, if you live out here in Boston, definitely go shopping to Market Basket. It's over at the Chelsea station. You have to take the commuter rail to get there, but I say it is worth it. Market Basket is the best thing about New England. I love Market Basket so much. It's just so affordable and so nice. Because a lot of grocery stores like Star Market, Shaw's even, they tend to be a little bit pricey. So I tend to, just because of proximity, I tend to shop a lot at Trader Joe's. But if I ever get the opportunity to go to Market Basket, I will go to Market Basket. And I'm not that big of a spender as well. Even when I go out to eat occasionally, like once or twice a month, I don't go somewhere like a Gordon Ramsay level. You know, I just go to like a standard restaurant to, you know, try the different cuisines here in Boston, because going to be quite frank, I don't know how long I'm going to be here in Boston, but I want to enjoy all the foods as much as possible. So overall, $250 maximum for food, because the majority of it is from groceries, I would say is a pretty good amount of money. Now, the greatest benefit about my job is getting to work completely free, which is good, because especially having a car out here is expensive, and personally I just don't want to drive out here in Boston because there are people called massholes. If I had to pay for transportation out of pocket, my monthly pass is $90 a month, and that's gonna add up after a while. Now, I do take the commuter rail up to Salem a few times just because my significant other is over there, and even taking the commuter rail, that's just 30 minutes and $10 for a weekend pass, which I think is amazing because I hate driving, and as shown for me not bringing a car out here. Now, let's talk about savings and investments. Now that I'm making $60,000 a year, I have been able to put a minimum of $100 a month towards my savings account. I know that's not much, however, that is a big step up from when I was making $50,000 a year and pretty much neglecting my savings because my rent to, you know, living costs were kind of pricey. And they still kind of are, but at least it's a little bit more manageable. Personal financial goal is to beef up my personal savings account to be at $10,000, and I'm very close to that goal, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna make it. In terms of retirement, I have actually been actively putting money into my retirement account for the past 4 years. I have been working with the company I'm with now for 4 years now. When I first started, I was working 20 hours a week as an intern and putting 15% of my salary towards what is the federal equivalent of your 401k, which is called a TSP. And they do have a matching program, which I did take full advantage of. Now that I'm out here, I've lowered it to 5%, but the fact that for 2 years working as an intern, I was able to already put 15% of my paycheck towards a retirement account is good. I also had about maybe $500 separately in my own personal bank account put into a traditional IRA. In addition, sometimes I do get bonuses based on my work, and I have put those bonuses towards certificates in order for my own personal wealth to grow. I know I should have done Series I bonds, but the problem is my CDs, they expire every year, and by the time Series I bonds were, being brought up to light, it was kind of too late for me to transfer my money, but I will do that someday. Also able to save a good amount of money while I was in college. This was primarily because my last 2 years of college were pretty much tuition free with a bit of a living stipend thanks to my dad's service in the Navy. So that really helped a lot. My parents also handled the majority of my student loan debt, and they actually have paid that off. The debt that they left me, I actively worked hard to pay that off because during the time I graduated class of 2020, so I moved back home with my folks when that happened. I was getting stimulus check payments. I was still working part-time. I was also getting a living stipend thanks to my dad's service in the military. So all of that helped me to aggressively pay off any student loan debt before moving out full-time, because I knew in advance I would just prefer to start my first job on a clean slate. At the same time, I'm still trying to balance out how to enjoy the money that I have, because what's the point of having all this money saved up if you're not going to use some of it from time to time, you know what I'm saying? Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this is really helpful if you are determining whether or not you want to move out here in Boston by yourself. I don't personally recommend people follow the payments financial route that I'm going through. If you can find cheaper rent, go for it, but also don't diminish the quality of your living as well, if as much as possible. I would say that my expenses should be a maximum on what you should spend. If you're making $60,000 a year, try not to go over unless you have a roommate. I hope this video has been helpful for you in this journey, and if you like this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe. And with that, I wish you all a very good night.